Can I just post my Instagram picture really quick?
Yeah, if you want. Post it all you want. I'm going to sip on my gin and tonic whilst you're doing that. And I'll introduce you, I guess, to the vlog.
This is me on the road, the best podcast you'll know.
That crushed ice.
Good.
Accidental crushed ice. So you guys that have just tuned in, I'm doing a little podcast which is a little bit strange with Marley Hayes, who happens to be my girlfriend. And we've never had a conversation in more formal but less formal settings.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that introduction.
Day when I was just like, oh, as in like literally we started?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, literally. So I was saying to Marley, should we do the podcast up near the bus? And she was like, well, when you've got these settings, you should maybe just make use of them a bit more, because I try and do everything on the bus, and I just think it's a good bit of branding to associate everything with the bus. But to be honest, we're on a little week-long holiday, so I'm being a bit naughty by getting an interview out of Miles whilst we're here, aren't I?
I don't know what to put for my caption. Sorry.
What's the post? Let's see the picture.
Well, it's the one of me by the boat that you took of me the other day.
One of you by the boat. Why don't you ask a question? Questions are always great for social media.
Questions are really good. I kind of wanted to share... Sorry, shouldn't look over there. I kind of wanted to share that I've been having a really hard time the past couple of days, especially today. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to be really this isn't really the platform that I talk about really open things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, well, what platform do you?
Well, my blogging one.
Your blogging post, so...
But I've already done a post on there today, so I'm not doing
just direct them to that then, maybe? Oh, as in you've done a post directing them to that thing? Just redirect them again. It's always the way forward, isn't it? Well, whilst you're doing that... Maybe
I could do that, yeah.
Do redirect. You can redirect more than once. So, Marley Hayes is an artist. We actually met via a rehearsal. So we met in the world of music, which was great. It was really blooming nice. And now 3 years later, Marley's getting chased by wasps in Croatia, and we never thought we'd be sat here on a bit of a business trip.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's by me now, Miles. If he stings me, I swear to God, I'm sending him your way.
Please.
We're actually in Croatia because Marley has some gigs. You've had one festival already, Soundwave.
We've had one festival already.
And then you're playing Outlook Festival. For those of you that aren't watching the visuals of this, Marley is being chased by wasps because she has a Fanta. I'm on a G&T. And wasps love Fanta.
I think
they
wasps
love your
just
Fanta.
like me because they've been chasing me a lot the past
I think
couple
you're
days.
tasty. You've been stung a lot as well. Am I actually darker than you right now?
No.
I'm not. I find I actually am.
I think you'll find that you're probably sat at an angle that makes it look that way because to me I look darker, so it's probably just our angles.
I've been out here. I've been in Croatia for a month, guys.
I've caught up with you already.
I've been in Europe for a month. I've been in Croatia 3 weeks. And literally, how long have you been in now? 3 days.
Oh, I've been here for 5 days.
Oh, 5 days. That's still good. That's still bad for me. My tummy doesn't tan though, so I've been trying to Oh, just hit it!
I heard it!
Did you? Oh.
He's probably pissed now.
He's gone off to tell his friends.
Oh my God, if you hear a weird noise and we're...
Well, like a distant thing. This podcast is going to be a blank screen.
Oh my God.
That's the nervousness of my laugh just then. So to people that don't know, have you posted your Instagram yet?
I haven't. I'm sorry.
Where are we at? No, it's all right. It's fine.
I'm nearly done though.
Well, should I tell people the backstory on...
You tell people the
not just how we met,
yeah,
but how we ended up in Croatia.
Yeah, do that.
Because I think that would be really, really useful. Because although Marley works really hard, she messages people all the time. She does emails all the time. Always tries to get ways in. But actually, this I hope will be really useful to any musicians that are watching. Actually, not just musicians. Anyone that's creative and trying to find an opportunity. Marley literally saw a post by the festival. Advertising that tickets were on sale and the dates and some of the acts as well? Mm-hmm. Some of the acts. And she literally commented and tagged us, the band. For anybody that is completely new to this, I should probably introduce myself as a musician. I'm a songwriter / kind of recently producer, worked with Marley on her stuff, and I'm kind of the early days of Marley MD'd, which is like music directing part of the show along with the band and the boys. And so she tagged myself and the boys in that post. So what did you say? Can you remember what you said?
I think I just put I think I just tagged you and I was just like, oh, that would be great if we could go. We should do a set whilst we're there as well.
It was something like that, really chilled.
Along the lines of that.
And that's not the first time that's happened either. Like, Marley's really good at commenting on things at the perfect time when they happen to be either like searching for bands or musicians or artists or whatever to do these things, and she's got a knack of just following social media enough that she just posts at the right time and just leaves a comment. So that's how we ended up in Croatia, because the guys who did the first festival, which we did in the end of July, was it the end of July? Beginning of July?
Yeah, the
Mid-July? End of July. Were the same people that arrange and organise Dimensions Festival and Outlook Festival. Outlook is what we're playing at, but Noah, the guy who is the director of the festivals, really kindly put us on, like, I guess, guest list for Dimensions Festival as well, which is on the same site. So next Wednesday we travel there, and we're going to go do that. So that's the backstory of how we are in Croatia.
It is, and I'm just about to post this picture. So.
Hey, so anybody that needs to go see this post, it's the one of you sat by a boat, and it'll be posted by the time I post this, probably a few weeks ago. Because
that's crazy.
I know, but that's because this podcasting is like really new to me. I think it is the way the world is going to go. I mean, I haven't even checked the microphones are on the right settings. In fact, you're going to hear a noise on Marley's mic now. That should be on that setting. See, this is it. And we have these lovely Aston microphones that Aston Microphones gave to us to do podcasting. Yeah, big up to Aston. And big up Luke at Aston Microphones for believing in the bus and everything else. If you guys want to see more of the bus, at Made on the Road UK, got a plug. And Instagram. If you want to go see Marley's posts and whatever she's posted since, it's at Marley Hayes. But Marley, spelled like the country, M-A-L-I Hayes. So that's the backstory of why we're in Croatia.
It is indeed.
Which has given you enough time to do your post. So it's worked out quite well.
It's worked out very well. Okay, I'm done.
You're done? Smashing. So now you can officially say hi to the. I nearly said vlog. I need to make this big transition to vlog and podcasts. Not full transition because I'm still doing the vlogs.
Yeah.
But now you can officially say hi.
So do we look at the camera or no?
It's up to you. We kind of look at it. We're just chatting amongst ourselves, and happens to be a camera there. I was looking at the camera whilst you were doing your post, so you can look as much as you want. You can direct this audience over on YouTube.
Cool. Well, hi guys.
Yeah.
Hi.
We already know your name.
Yeah.
But before you give any info on what we're talking about today, which will be how we did a video today on how to record yourself. As an artist, it's doable, it's affordable.
Yeah.
We explained the equipment that you need and how easy and how cheap it is. I hope you guys found that useful because you guys will have seen that over on YouTube already. But before we go into all of that, I think we should just say a bit more. Sorry, cricket.
There's a friend joining us somewhere.
They've been everywhere. Where are you from? How did you get into music? Give a really brief intro, and then we'll get cracking on.
Okay. This does feel weird because I'm talking to you, but
yeah, but that's what I like about it. It's relaxed straight away.
You know everything about my life already. Pretty much,
I know, and it's going to be really hard to think of the questions that I know so well about you that these guys won't know about you. So, you've got a really great backstory on how you ended up in music, and it was kind of meant to be. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. So, say about your upbringing, where you were, how it started, because I only know because I personally asked you. You don't really put this info out there.
Well, to just leave it basic, I guess. I was born in Manchester. Mm-hmm. That's where I currently still live. What did you say?
Great city.
Oh, I thought you said
rainy city, but very good city.
Sorry, that's where I still live now. My mum is a producer and live sound engineer. She's worked for so many people Simply Red, Corinne Bailey Ray, Beautiful South, Swing Out Sister, who she's going on tour with in October. I'm so happy for her.
Plug.
Yeah. Happy Mondays. Oh my God.
She's so excited about that tour as well.
She is.
That Swing Out Sister
tour.
She
needs that tour.
Yeah.
I'm so buzzing. Japan as well.
Yeah, I haven't even asked her where she's going.
Japan. That's where they're going.
The whole tour's in Japan?
Yeah, I think it's just for like 2 weeks. Oh, just under 2 weeks they go to... Yeah, something like that.
Oh my goodness, I'm so jealous.
I'm very jealous.
I'm going to make her eat a scorpion. Fee, if you're listening to this, please eat a scorpion.
She
and take a
definitely won't
picture.
eat any type of thing like that.
Nothing?
That's where I
thought
get...
your mum would be well into this.
No, see,
trying, maybe not enjoying. I couldn't imagine her sitting there with a bowl of crickets, but...
I think that's where, like... I mean, I am adventurous, but, like, I get that side from her. Like, I'm not eating... I mean, I'm veggie, so I obviously would not eat a scorpion now. I probably wouldn't have even...
I'd always find that a funny thing, you know? Like, how much you follow your parents. Not you, as in, like,
Yeah, just
we
general.
as humans. Because name the first 2 things that your mum doesn't like.
Olives and tomatoes and mushrooms.
And what don't you like?
Olives, tomatoes and mushrooms.
It's such a funny thing, isn't it?
It is a weird thing. Yeah, so anyway...
Funny but true.
Oh, God. So, yeah, my mum has worked for many people. She did the sound for Ronnie Size as well. She's worked with, like, Giles Peterson on his Cuban stuff. They went to, like, Cuba and did all of that. And I've been lucky enough to, like, travel with my mum for a lot of those really cool things as well.
My mum was always saying that you grew up, like, on tour buses in, like, Brazil.
Yeah, well, like, not...
You
I wouldn't say, like, necessarily grew up, but I just had really great opportunities, like, a handful of times, so...
How old were you at the time when you were doing stuff like that?
I'm really bad at remembering, like, specifics like that.
I mean, was it, like, preschool, can you remember? You were in primary school?
Well, like, I think the Brazil one, the Ronnie Size one, I must have been about 6 or 7 or something like that. Are you looking at the wasp flying around
No, I
me?
wasn't. I was just making sure that everything was still recording and that we weren't ruining this.
Yeah,
before it
so
even begins.
that was probably around like 6, 7, 8. I don't really remember. That was with Ronnie Size, and she was doing the live sound, and we travelled around. We went to like Rio, and then we went to the other really well-known place in Brazil that I can't remember now. Which was really great. I didn't really do anything because obviously I was just young. I just wanted to go on the beach and go in the sea.
Yeah. But we were saying, sorry to interrupt, in Split, where we were like 4 days ago,
Yeah, you
how
were
much
saying-
Split looks like the what's it called? The skyscape?
I know what you mean, but
Yeah, hopefully everyone else does as well. Of Rio.
yeah, it does. Rio's a lot like more bold, obviously, but yeah. So like weird things I remember from that holiday is like, I feel like I'm just going off on a bit of a tangent,
Go
but
off as
stuff
much as
to
you
talk about. I remember as a kid, I really just enjoyed eating like chicken and chips, which I think wouldn't change now, but I am a veggie now, so I don't eat chicken, obviously. But I still eat chips. You know that.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows that. Everyone knows I love potatoes.
Temple Hackney
Fun
need
fact
to sort you out.
about Marley Hayes is
Potatoes.
potatoes. Everything.
So you should trace your family tree back to see where
We
the Irish
did,
is
but
in
we've got
there.
Irish
You
in
have?
the family, yeah. So,
Strong.
yeah. Well, it must be because I love potatoes. So, anyway, I remember eating chicken potatoes and one day, chicken
potatoes.
chicken and chips one day. And I ordered chips, but over there, chips is crisps. It's like America.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to say
They do that
fries.
here as well.
And I was like, for goodness sakes, it turned out like, who wants chicken and crisps? No one wants that. Anyway.
I can imagine your face as a 7-year-old, like, biche.
I think I've always had resting Can I say
biche.
biche?
Say biche face.
I think I've always had a
Trying to
resting
keep this
biche
PC,
face.
you know?
Yeah. So I think I probably was very much giving that face then when that turned up. But I remember getting chicken, like, have you ever had like when food gets a little bit like stuck in your throat?
Yeah, well, like that fish bone I had last night.
And it's just a bit like you just
You
feel
can't
like
get it out.
and you keep swallowing and it's just like not really going
Yeah.
anywhere. And I was so frustrated. And then I remember like the drummer or something was like, just gargle some water and it'll go. And I remember gargling water and it went and I was like, oh my God, it's like magic. Like,
Life lessons on tour.
yeah. Like,
Who was it that said it? Do you remember?
I can't remember his name. I don't even know what he looks like, but
Oh, right.
he told me. So that was fine. And then another day, I very nearly got like swept out into sea because I love the sea. I was born in water, so I'm like a water bear. I was born a water baby.
That's
Tomish,
like Jordan
if you're listening.
I didn't say Jordan Mackay. How bad's that?
That's really bad. It's because Tomish, Jordan Mackay, they're in like the same
It's because they've just been our
bracket.
lives for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
non-stop.
So, and big ups Lil Kana as well. Saw you at Soundwave. You were great. Yeah, Yeah, was on the beach one day. I just used to go in the sea till like my lips were blue because I just used to stay in there like all day. And my mum was like on the beach once and I was just like, right, I'm just going to go in the sea. So I was there for a while and it was like really strong waves, like really strong though. And like there was quite a few people out, but people had started to like come in because it was just obviously getting a little bit dangerous. All I remember, I don't really remember that, but that's what I got told. All I remember was like the sea kind of like took my feet from underneath me and I just kind of like like my head was like fully under the water and I just remember some arm just grabbing me and like pulling me out and some guy just like dragged me out of the water and was like yeah,
strong tide kind of thing.
Yeah, so
all you're advertising here is that you're really bad to take on tour.
No, I'm not.
You nearly choke on stuff. You nearly drown. Get taken
no, I'm
out
great.
to sea.
I'm great. No, do you know what's a really good tour hack? Is I remember being so tired one night, and we were backstage, and they had like like trailers, like old American trailers that are just kind of made out of metal.
Yeah.
I remember, and this was literally just behind the stage. I'm talking like it could have been touching. So going in the trailer was literally like this, like rattling. It was so loud from the drums and the bass and everything from the bottom end. And I fell asleep in there.
Classic.
Because I was just so tired. So that's a good thing.
Sleep pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
How's that a hack though? I think I missed something here.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's a good thing that I can sleep anywhere on tour.
Ah, I thought you were going to give us a hack. I'm like, I was really excited for you to say like how you managed to sleep anywhere.
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying I just managed to fall asleep. But anyway, I did that tour with Mum. That was good.
So that's how you got into music. Like it was inevitable. Your mum's a musician, your dad's a musician.
Yeah, my dad's a singer. And my family, my grandparents were classical composers and my Nini was a classical pianist.
Yeah. Gramps was like BBC producer.
Yeah, BBC.
Like you have a lot of music like in your family. Like it was inevitable.
Even my dad's side, they're all like DJs, and my brother does a bit of like spoken word and rap and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of inevitable. Really.
So when did it turn so that it was going to become a career? Like when did you think actually? Because your real name's Marley Campbell, right?
Yeah. Well, my real name is Marley Hayes Campbell.
Marley Hayes Campbell, but yeah, first and last name.
Yeah.
Marley Campbell. And your mum gave you Marley Hayes because she was like, it's a cool name. She could see it being a stage name or whatever, which you have actually ended up using. It's a great name. Works really well. So what stage did it turn that you were like, okay, I am actually going to use Marley Hayes as a career name and actually try and make a bit of a career out of this? At the time, you probably wouldn't have been thinking career, but you were thinking, I want to be a singer, I want to be a musician, or...
I think it was probably. I think that when I started taking... music seriously was when I was probably like not even when I went to college, because in college I did music production, which I didn't necessarily want to do. I wanted to do I wanted to do some kind of music, but I wasn't into like classical music. Like I can appreciate it, but I'm not into it. And the year before us, there'd only been one person on that course, so they weren't carrying it on. So the only thing you could do that was related to music was music production. So I was like, right, okay, I'll just do that then. But I didn't really pay attention. Like, I just sailed through it. Like, I don't really know how I got a distinction in that, but it happened, so I'm grateful. And then, so that was sixth form.
Yeah.
Sixth form.
Yeah.
And then after that, even then I was like, I'd written music at this point and everything, at this point I'd been doing some BVs, like I'd done like live BVs for like JP Cooper, who's obviously now massive. I'd done like BVs on people's albums that would just come and like into Mum's studio who should be producing for, and I'd just sing BVs because they knew I could sing and whatever. But I still wasn't really like, oh yeah, I'm going to do... To be fair, at this point, dance was more of a bigger thing for me.
Which you don't really do it at all anymore.
I know, I don't. I really miss it.
Yeah, Jade does that class that you go to every now and then.
Big up Jade, yeah.
Well, you go to... It's not that you go every now and then, you go as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
That happens to only be every now and then.
So that was like a main thing, and I think it was because I made so many... Pardon me, I'm so sorry.
You're right.
There was... I don't know, I've just got like a bit of a frog in my throat.
It's not a wasp, is it?
Maybe. Yeah, I think I've made like such good friends at dance, and I used to train like twice a week, which was 6 hours a week, which really isn't that long in a week, but that was like the most thing that I looked forward to, and like it just was my life because my friends were the best ever and stuff, so I think that just kind of took over. And then got to the end of sixth form and I was like, I actually didn't even want to go to uni. I don't know what I wanted to do. I think I was actually looking into going into like doing nannying or something because I really liked kids, and that sounds a bit weird, but I really enjoy like looking after kids. And yeah, so I was kind of thinking maybe do that. Like I just didn't know. I did not know what I wanted to do, and it's like that whole thing that people keep talking about at the moment. How are you supposed to know what you're supposed to do at that age? Like how? So I can't even properly remember. I think basically Mum had a friend who worked at Leeds College of Music, and I'd put a couple of like covers up on YouTube. You know, hadn't like got any views or anything. It was only like friends and family that were watching. But at this point, it had already passed for the time to apply for uni. So he was just like, why don't you just send me the video and I'll put it across to them and see what they say. Like you might, if that's something you fancy. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't see why not. And actually, no, at this point, I had actually applied to go to Crewe. Well, it was Manchester Met University.
Oh, is Crewe near Manchester?
But it's a Crewe campus that did music, which was a bit annoying because I was like, Manchester, obviously I live like 10 minutes from town, but the music campus was in Crewe, which is like no.
Crewe sounds like it's in like Cornwall.
No, it's like on the train, it's about 30 minutes away, but to drive it's probably about 45 to an hour. Okay. Which was a little bit annoying. It's not, but obviously I didn't have a car at the time and all stuff, so it was a bit like, And I wasn't very excited to go. So anyway, fast forward, I ended up getting, is it an unconditional or like, conditional?
Where it didn't matter what grades you got.
Yeah,
they were just like, we want you to go.
Well, it was like 2 weeks before I was supposed to go. And I got an unconditional, if that's the right way, unconditional offer from Leeds College of Music. And I was like, holy moly, like, that's not really what I expected.
Yeah.
And at this point, I hadn't done any research, didn't know what any of it was about, because I didn't think of moving away from Manchester because I was such a home bird. So I was like, the thought of going to Leeds, like, really scared me.
It was quite late then when you decided, like...
2 weeks before.
Well, it wasn't even like you decided. It was almost like the college was like... Okay.
They were like, yeah, which was really weird because I was like, I've not even auditioned or anything, and which I'm really grateful that I didn't have to do because I hate that kind of stuff. Like,
so you kind of got a boot into the music industry, really. You had it all there in terms of, but like I remember when we first met, like you were in uni and. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you'd watch Disney films during the day and you'd sit and chill. You didn't really have any motivation compared to what you've got now. And like, you know, every day, like...
I think I was very overwhelmed by everything that was going on around me as well because I'd never been in that situation before. So for me, I never, ever, ever used to put myself in situations where I'd meet new people. So for me... Not only just going to uni, but going to a new city where I didn't know anyone.
The phone. I had to literally just be like, Marley, just answer it. Like, what if this is JP Cooper's manager asking you back to do a world tour, and you would have never answered that phone?
I know, I was
bad.
And
he'd probably be too busy to leave a voicemail, and you never would have known.
I know, I'm still bad like that.
Yeah, but you're better now because you've got a job that involves like
answering a phone,
and like. When we first met, I was doing emails all the time and that kind of thing, and we talked a lot. You were asking like how to do this and emails, set up your emails and stuff like that. But at the time when you first met, and I think this is great for people to know that like it literally is. It's hard for me to say like never too late to start because you're still very much like on your journey on the way to like getting your name out there. But like that means you would have been like 18 before you even decided that, or before you even considered that music could be like a career.
Oh yeah, well when I got to uni I was kind of like, well, I can either like drop out or I kind of like take this opportunity a bit seriously and like I can actually do something with it and make a band and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I've got really... Which
you did, and your band were amazing. I remember going and watching you and being like, wow. And then the band, and then you left, and then the band kind of didn't happen, and then we started the band.
Well, everyone kind of moved back home. And it was like following that
band was like, how on earth are we going to do this? Because they were sick, they were really good.
Yeah, but I guess everyone just kind of like moves home and stuff.
Yeah, everyone does their own thing, and I think now we're at a very strong place. It's different to what it was when you were at college, but that's just the progression of
it's weird
life
how it
and
all
career and
yeah, it's weird how it kind of all like fell together because obviously like
remember how it did.
skipping year 1 and 2, well, and 3 really, because we met in the November, in the November of my final year.
Was it that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 2014 we met. And then...
That's crazy, because that means at that point you would have been 21, 20?
20.
2021. So still at that point, like, again, I hope you don't mind me saying it, but you were still watching, like, Disney films during the day. You weren't
sound like I'm just lazy.
Well, no, I guess at the time, music career-wise, you were, at that point...
I don't think it was that I was lazy.
But compared to where you are now...
I think I will hold my hands up, though, and I think I've got to defend my corner. I don't think I was lazy. I just didn't know that was the type of stuff that I had to be doing.
Exactly, and this isn't me baiting you out. This is me, like... This is the real world for a lot of musicians that actually... A lot of the time you think, oh, I've done that thing now, like I've organised that gig, I just need to wait for that gig to come up, and it's everything that's in between that. And now you're on it with your socials all the time, you write your blog, you do your emails all the time, you're getting gigs, you're constantly searching for stuff. But compared to then when we first met,
oh yeah, no, like...
It's so different. So what was your changing point of like... starting to take it seriously and realising, no, actually, I'm the only person that's going to make this happen?
Well,
did something twig? Do you remember something happening?
I think it was more like in my final year of uni, I'd had a really rocky year 2 where like, I won't even get into it, but it was just like a bit of a whirlwind and it taught me a lot and like... Big
life thing.
Yeah, and I lost some people who I thought were my friends, but then I met really great people who are my friends, like my absolute... ride or dies today. So that was like that gave me a lot of confidence, weirdly, with my music, because obviously like it was people actually praising me and I knew that they were actually praising me and not just saying it to say it. And then in my final year, it's like all the tutors not hate you, that's a strong word, but they don't like you as much in year 1 and year 2, but then in your 3rd year you're obviously like the top. So, like, everyone else looks up to you. So I feel like all the tutors start to like you in year 3.
And I guess by year 3, you've proven yourself. Like, they know which people are mean business.
Exactly. And, like, they'll be brutally honest with you and stuff. And I'm not even saying this to be big-headed, but obviously, like, we were, like, in my ensemble especially, we were known to, like, everyone was kind of like, oh, you guys. Because we were in... The band that we'd put together, they asked me to join. They were all, like... who everyone wanted to play with.
Boys, weren't they?
Everyone wanted to play with them. So everyone was kind of like, oh, like we're really looking forward to your final performance. So I think that was kind of like pressure for me, but it kind of made me feel like, oh, maybe people actually like want to listen to me. And like, it's not just because of me, it was because of everyone else as well. It was like a collective thing.
Huge shout out to those boys, by the way.
Yeah, my boys.
Like, we won't name drop or whatever because there's a big bunch of them.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
I remember meeting you and just seeing...
Soul Shy.
Seeing how... Yeah, Soul Shy. That's what you called yourself on a few projects. But huge stepping stone for you being with those boys.
So I think towards the end of year 3, and when I'd finally started, like, obviously uni in general forced me to write music, so that's kind of when I was like, oh, okay, I actually have some songs now. And I'd already, I'd done a couple of gigs whilst I'd been at uni, just like really acoustic, small things, and I really enjoyed it, and it kind of built up my confidence and stuff. So I think it was kind of more in my 2nd year that I kind of started to be like, okay, maybe I will actually do this. And in my 3rd year, when we had done that performance, and then like I got really good grades and stuff for my performance, and I was just like, okay, I feel like this is definitely the right thing that I want to do. And then at this point I'd been doing BVs for your band at the time, Numa. So I'd met you. This frog in my throat is really annoying, sorry. So I'd met you and the boys, which I think, again, like BVing, backing vocals for y'all that don't know, is like something that I really enjoy.
It's your favourite thing. And even in the studio, that's the thing I know that brings you to life.
Yeah.
Like harmonies.
It just gives me I don't know why, it just gives me like confidence. I think it's because like almost the pressure isn't on you as much, but you're still going to do a sick job, and
still make the impact.
You're elevating the performance somehow, whether it's recorded or it's a live performance. It's just something I've always really loved doing. So I think like obviously then meeting like you guys in Numa, who were I got on with all of you really well. Again, like meeting new people that are praising you for the right reasons.
Yeah, for what you do, kind of thing.
So that was really great. And then obviously, well, I think fast forward again a little bit, we were already together at this point, And then obviously I'd graduated from uni and we were still doing a lot of stuff with Numa. So I was seeing you guys regularly and I was like, can't remember how the conversation came about because I think we were talking whilst I was away down seeing family friends. And I think we both kind of mutually were like, well, why don't you just use the Numa band for your band? Because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think we had like a gig offer or something.
Oh, sorry, you can carry on talking.
Okay.
This is for the YouTube.
Because we had a gig offer. So I needed to get we needed to get a band together. So anyway, ended up being that I ended up using all the Numa boys, which was great, and it worked for so long. It was so good. But then I keep saying fast forward, but again, fast forward to, well, a couple of years where it was like a full, nearly 10-piece band because I was extra and had to have 3 BVs.
Yeah, that's how it started off, wasn't it? And I'm trying to think.
I can't really remember what made it knuckle down was that we were, you know, after I'd left uni, we slowly started getting more gig offers. I feel like I don't really know how. Obviously, the Future Bubblers thing really helped. I guess we could talk more about that if you want, or if not, you can just go into my socials. And
well, really quickly, yeah. Social Bubblers, Future Bubblers is Giles Peterson's like program to help new musicians.
Yeah,
and you got enrolled onto that. Only a handful of people do.
10 people a year.
10 people out of a lot of applicants. Like,
yeah.
You literally were just like, oh, I've just applied to this thing.
Yeah,
blah, 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 and then you got it and you were
sure.
like, holy moly. So
yeah,
they help out with a lot of
so
stuff.
Again, like, well, that now will have been in 2016 that I got accepted onto that.
Yeah.
So that I guess like I'd had a year of kind of doing gigs which were going okay, but I knew I was ready to kind of like up it to the next level.
Yeah.
And from what I'd read from Future Bubblers, that could definitely do that for me. So I think
your
mentor. My mentor, Claudio, yeah.
Claudio, great guy, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Great accent. My favourite thing about the boy. I could speak to him all day.
Great food and wine taste.
Oh, don't. Yeah, it's like the best combination of mentor you could ever have.
Yeah.
And he books for people like
Jordan Mackay and Neo,
yeah.
which was like, they're massive influences for me.
Exactly where you want it to be.
And like what you have to do when you basically get accepted onto the programme is we have conversations with the people who run Future Bubblers, which is Amy and Selassie, and they basically decide who our mentor should be based on what we feel we need in our career. So like for me, I don't know what everyone else's was, but for me it was like getting gigs. And like then they put me with a booking agent, which is exactly what I needed.
And he works for CAA.
CAA, yeah.
And he's now a good friend of yours. And
yeah, well, like it's really nice because I know a lot of the other bubblers who were on my year unfortunately didn't have the best relationship with their mentors. So I feel so grateful that Claudio still takes the time out for me. And like he will
sees good things in what you do.
Yeah, well, I think I was a bit scared of him at first. I don't know if he'll listen to this, but I was a bit scared of him at first because like I could tell he was just brutal and to the point straight away. Yeah. And I feel like I avoid people like that, like these wasps here. Because
I was going to say people like Gary Vee who are so straight to the point. They say it how it is.
I can't handle that. Like I don't resonate very well with that.
You don't like being told.
I don't like being told what to do.
Or
like, being told that it's crap.
Or being told anything. Like
yeah.
Being told anything sounds so horrible. This is where like the boundary of us being together for like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I struggle to work out the words to say, but
it's hard to know how to put it. But
what do I call it? Only child syndrome.
Yeah,
single. I can't remember. What
yeah, and the thing is, like, I can't even say. I don't want to say that is what it is, but it's like I just know what I want, and if I feel very strongly about something,
I think it's such a good quality. Honestly, I
feel very strongly about something, then I'm gonna fight for it. Like that's why we disagree when we write music and stuff.
Because you're just like, no, I definitely want it to be this way. And as a producer, when I'm sat there trying to like take it in one direction, you're like, no. And I'm like,
and that's why me and my mum argue when she produces my stuff because I'm just like,
you just work with strong-minded people, and you are a strong-minded person, and that's a good thing. And the important thing to know is that that's not always going to work. There's going to be things you'll learn from it. But the best thing about that is there'll be things you'll learn from it. The next time you'll do stronger.
Yeah, of course.
That you won't have done stronger if you didn't learn that lesson by just listening to what everyone's going to say anyway. Do you think Lady Gaga listened to everything anybody ever said to Lady Gaga?
Yeah. Sometimes I have to sit back and be like, right, okay, should I listen to this though? Because is it going to benefit me in the long run? But a lot of the time I just go with my own opinion because...
and I think most of the successful people do just go with their own opinion, and they just bully their way through in a good way, good kind of bullying. There's no such thing in terms of on paper, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Do you know what you mean?
It's an amazing thing. So I want to skip forward now to like your career now, and I mean, we're finally, how long are we into this now? 34 minutes.
Holy moly,
it was going to be a
that's a long
40-minute podcast.
Okay.
But I think we're going to end up going over that probably to an hour, because I think it's really important. I don't want to edit. I don't want to chop up all these, because you've given a really great backstory, and people that really want to follow you would benefit. And I'm hoping that a lot of musicians that are just starting out have gained a lot from what you just said in terms of confidence in like it's doable. We're sat in Croatia now because you decided to do what you wanted to do, and you started later than some people. You committed later than most people, but not most people committed later than some artists out there, but you're still here sat in Croatia doing festivals, which is amazing. So I think people will benefit from that. But I want to know more about like you as an artist now, how much you feel you need a team around you, how much do you feel you need a record label. Like going back to the video that we've done today, you know, I was teaching you how to record with a microphone, with an interface and your laptop, record your own music. How important do you think that is in 2018 compared to being in a studio? Traditional way.
It's a really hard one, right? Because, like, I think for me, I've come to realise relying on people, which is a lot of what I've done throughout the last, I'd say probably like 6 months to a year. I really don't like relying on people. Yeah. Like, this really annoys me about myself, because I'm like, I want to be able to like produce properly and like go to downstairs to my basement, turn on my microphone and write my own backing track. But not just using like loops and stuff. Like I want to be able to like
Umbrella.
No, I know. But like, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. Like,
for anybody that doesn't know, Umbrella by Rihanna was literally, the drum loop was literally GarageBand, which comes free with every Macintosh that you buy, and it was a drum loop that she used.
Macintosh, you know, I've never heard it called that before.
I don't know what came over me. I think it's this triple gin.
Oh God. Yeah, so I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I'm sure a lot of people do that, and that's totally cool. Like, I've done it and then I've written to it, but then I've changed it. Do you know what I mean? I've not
and there is
used
nothing
that.
wrong with keeping the original as well.
Of course, but like, I get frustrated at myself quite a lot, because I'm like, I know there's stuff in here that wants to come out, but I don't have the outlet to do it, because like, I can't play the piano that well. I can play it a little bit. I can't play the guitar that well. I can only play it a little bit. I only know how to do the basics on Logic. So it's a bit like, and that really frustrates me, because I'm just like, well, why are you not learning to do it then? Because you've got all the time in the world. Anyway, that's another story.
So when it comes to like having a microphone and recording your own stuff, like what kind of freedom does that give you? Like at the minute, you're not really doing it, but like the theory of literally, I mean, if you were bold, and you don't even need to be bold enough to, but if you're adventurous enough to sit here like we're doing this podcast, but recording PVs, or sit there just songwriting and you're just like humming to yourself, you've got the track on loop.
Well, that's the thing, like it's just being able to do it anywhere and everywhere. You're on a train, you can whip out your Logic and
if you wanted to record and on
start
a train.
recording stuff. Obviously you're not going to like, it's not going to be a final take, but just to have ideas, and it just gives you...
So sorry to interrupt, do you see that then, like what we've done today, as being like
I feel like
a demo thing? Like how open do you think?
Well, no, not always. But like, I just feel like it's a thing that everyone, like talking from a singer's perspective, probably they do anyway, but they should all be able to do it. Like, rather than like saying, oh, I need a producer to get me in the studio or whatever. It's like, well, no, I can just do it myself. Do you know what I mean?
Which 20 years ago you needed to, because you couldn't have compressors and equalizers and that all based into a laptop that you could carry around. It was all hardboard gear, outboard gear that you needed a studio for, which you need now.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so, I mean, everyone knows this, it's just so accessible now, and I just feel like it's good to know it just gives you some kind of like, not even peace of mind, I don't know what the right word is, but it kind of just makes you be like, no, I can do this myself, and that's something that you can take pride in, and you can just do it by yourself.
It's
you don't,
so affordable now
like,
as well.
Like, I don't need you to be in England for me to be able to record. I don't need my mum in the house for me to be able to go and switch my mic on. I can just do it myself.
Now you can just go take a mic and
and
at the cost of, well, it's dirt cheap for anybody that hasn't seen the video out on YouTube. the costs we were talking about, like most people have a laptop, so that's sorted. Or a computer, or access to. You don't even need to own it. Access to somebody else's computer, whether it's a family friend or whether it's a member of your family or a school or whatever, college. So a microphone, Aston microphone. This one's £300, but this one is like, I think you can buy them for like 180. So
you got
that's
the more
the
expensive one,
biggest.
did you?
Well, I got the. It's actually because it was higher up. And I was thinking.
I'm just kidding.
So it's affordable, but these are like, you know, I actually this microphone I record genuine vocals for when I'm doing production stuff.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily. I know you can buy like USB microphones for like £50 for a good one.
Well, I've got one of them at
£20
home, do you know
for
what I mean?
a very crappy, like average one that you'd probably write a song to. It's very affordable. I reckon now for under £200 you can have your own little setup with an interface. Interface is what you plug your microphone into, and it powers the microphone and connects it to your computer, so you can record into your computer.
Yeah, if you want basics.
So many cheap ways of doing it now, and I think of it like if you invest £200, £300, £400, £500, £2,000 if you really wanted to on crazy microphones and stuff. That investment could very quickly turn into tens of thousands of plays.
Yeah.
1 million streams on Spotify.
Definitely.
2 million downloads on Apple Music, or like YouTube views or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll be paid back that in like potentially overnight. And I think that's crazy if you commit to it. So I think cost should not be a thing. I don't think cost is a thing anymore. There's always a way to afford stuff. Whether that means that you've got to go pot wash for 6 months, but that gives you
Or
the
even if
amount
you
of
get
money.
funding, guys. Help Musicians
Funding's been
UK.
a
We wouldn't be
huge thing.
in Croatia if it wasn't for them, so I feel like I need to give them a little shout out.
Yeah, big
here.
shout out. So when we came out to Croatia in the first place, we didn't have... Well, we were going to be funding quite a lot of the trip.
Yeah.
And Help Musicians UK have
Well, we still have funded some of it. Do you know what I mean?
through gigs and stuff. Yeah, exactly. But Help Musicians UK gave you
They gave me a bursary.
large chunk, which
is
is amazing.
very
So
nice.
there's ways to do it, and if you, yeah, like I think you're
And
completely
you can,
right.
You can do that for various things. You know, they have certain funding for like, you know, all different types of things. And I don't know
You're
if
gonna
you
have
can.
to get close to that microphone.
Sorry, I don't know if you can. I just wanted to chill because I noticed I was.
I know. I was literally sitting back like this, and I was like, I wish I had a cushion. But
Yeah.
I'm closer to the mic than you.
I don't know if you can just do it for solely buying gear. I think like even with ours,
Yeah.
you can only use 50% of the money.
But there will be bursaries out
There
there
will
that can
be
help, or there'll
bursaries.
be charities or local I don't know what you call them, like local groups or whatever that
That do
also
them.
do that same kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
definitely.
there's plenty of different options, and I've got some friends coming down to
Got
join.
some friends.
There's plenty of different options, but it's very affordable now, a lot more so than it ever used to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's like an amazing way to get the equipment. I think it's a very important thing to try and find a way to get the equipment to go out, do your own thing. And as we did today, it's really easy system. It's a really easy way to do. There's nothing on your ear, don't worry.
No, but I think it touched me, so it just made me jump.
So what do you think the future of like being a musician is going to be about? Like, do you think that studio... I mean, this is a big question. Like, I have my views on this, but... And I know it's a very open question as well, but do you think studios are going to be needed in the same way anymore? I know if you're a rock band, you know, you need someone to record drums and that. But in your perspective as a singer, as a songwriter, do you think you're already at a place in terms of with technology that you feel like you can run a whole career off yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that is available to me now, but like, oh God, please. Sorry, guys, just fly interrupting. But there's something about being able to go like to a studio. You're really doing my head in now. Where is it?
It's going to get mashed in a second.
There's something about being able to go. What's even more annoying is that it's just a fly.
Only a fly. So, okay, it's only a fly. Ignore it.
I'm just
keep
going to sit
going.
like this and do the podcast like this. There's something really nice about going to a studio and being able to like have that atmosphere of like, I don't know, like ordering in food and like having a chill with like not your friends, because it's not just a social thing. But what I'm saying is you like your friends are probably going to be the musician friends that you're working with and stuff. And like even yesterday when we were driving,
It's only a fly. It's only a fly.
When we were driving, I was watching some of Jessie J's Instagram stories, and she was just in the studio, and I'm just like, why would there's always going to be big studios and stuff like that, I think, because there's always going to be a demand for it, because there's going to be certain people that want that.
And being in a room together.
For me, I don't mind just writing at home and stuff, but there is that. It's like when having an office, like so many people now, I watch a lot of YouTube, and so many people say, you know, don't always do your work at home, go to a coffee shop and do work. Yeah. It's the same. It's like, don't always write at home, go to a studio. But obviously, money, I get that there's a big difference, because obviously you have to pay to go and use a studio.
Or the extreme of like building yourself a blooming bus and sitting in Croatia and writing music in Croatia.
Yeah, like there's all...
Changing your office.
These flies are so loud next to you here.
You just really need to chill out with the flies. It's a fly. It's not going to kill you. There's one flying above your head. I think you invite them by waving your arms out. I reckon they go tell their friends, and they're like, hey, this mug over here.
Anyway.
She's loving it.
Like I would... I think if there was like a studio that I could go to, like when my mum had the one outside of the house, I really enjoyed going to that, because it was like just a new, like fresh space, office. And you knew what you were going there to do. Do you know what I mean?
Even though after today, learning how to use a microphone, how to set it up, and all that kind of thing, you still think there's very much a big, like it's not realistically how you would make your whole career. It's doable, but you'd rather go to a studio.
Yeah, and even like it's weird, because even though for me, being signed isn't something that I want, because there are like probably 80% negatives that come with the 20% positives. So that's not something that I'm interested in. You did asked me this question before, but we haven't really touched on it, about like, do I feel like I need a team around me and stuff? Yeah. I would like to have a manager. I would like to have a booking agent. Yeah. I feel like that's what I need, and that's what I would really like. So I'm going to put it out there into the universe, and hopefully that will come to me. But like I think for me, something that I'd love to be able to do and I feel like this is maybe a career thing, is like being able to go to like studios and write, not just having to write at home.
So what you're saying is the video we filmed today is everyone's going to know how to use a microphone, but we might as well have not filmed it, because it's better to just go.
Well, no, I'm not saying that at all.
No, it's
though,
fine.
because
It's thanks for watching the podcast, guys. I'm joking.
No, because what I'm saying, like...
I was being very serious there,
I did. I was like, what? No, because I feel like at your home, like that's your own comfort space as well. So like, I mean, I actually probably write best at home, in my own home.
But in terms of recording, final vocals...
Well, no, again,
so would you
because...
use it as more of like a songwriting tool then, maybe?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Use it as a songwriting tool, and then you'd go to someone like your mum, like a producer or someone...
Yeah. I don't think for me, personally... I mean, I've done it before, even at yours, when I've needed to just get something down. But there's something nice about having someone else, like, working the computer and being able to be like, oh, no, can you just take it back to this point and do this, and I just want to do that. So it's just... I feel like it's just a bit nicer to have that kind of interaction with someone like... an engineer or whatever, so that you can just get stuff done, bang on. So yeah.
Well, if anybody's listening to this on the Anchor podcasting website or app, this is how we put the podcasts out there. So we use a website called Anchor, and it distributes it across to Spotify and Apple Music and all those places that like you guys are listening to this right now. If you go over to the Anchor podcast app, you can actually leave like a voice note question or an answer or whatever. Like you can leave a voice note of some kind, and I'd be really interested to get you guys to ask Marley some questions. We won't be able to air those questions on this podcast, but what you can do as well is leave a question that we can then ask our next artists that are going to be on board.
That sounds good to me.
So, yeah, you're kind of stabbing in the dark in terms of who you're going to be asking, because you're not going to know. But if there are any good questions, then we will literally play your voice now in the podcast, and we'll play it back out. But, Marley, thank you so much. I think this has been...
I was just going to say, if you do want to ask me questions, though, you can always, like, ask me on my social media.
On your social media.
Or something.
You can just shout out Made on the Road for the question.
Yeah. Do that.
So, yeah, no, definitely do. It's at Marley Hayes. Marley spelt like the country, M-A-L-I, Hayes.
Hayes.
Hayes. Marley, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys listening or watching, if you're over on YouTube, benefited in some way, shape or form just by listening to Marley's story. I love hearing it every single time. And I think it's super, super useful how somebody like Marley Blummin Hayes can have such an incredible journey in like a couple of years being sat in Croatia. Thank you so much for like giving us the opportunity to be out in Croatia. If anybody's wondering, like we're providing the bus for Marley Hayes and her band for the festivals. That's why initially the bus is out here in the first place. So it's where like us as a couple crosses over with business, and Made on the Road and Marley Hayes as a brand have come together, and it's been great. So if you guys want to see any more info about the festivals, definitely head over to our socials, because it won't be long till the festivals until we have stuff out there of your next show. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Oh no, I did this with Isaac as well. Isaac's podcast isn't out yet, I don't think. But to close the interview, I want to ask you 2 questions. Mm-hmm. First question, if you could change the world in one way, what would it be?
Plastic pollution. None of it.
Something we're both on big time. We even buy we don't buy chewing gum anymore.
No.
We buy mints in tins so they can be recycled. We go to the shopping centre with I've got these like little, you've got the same ones, I've got you some for Christmas, didn't I?
The mesh bags.
The little mesh bags, which are great, so you don't have to use plastic.
Yeah. Just plastic pollution in any way, guys. Just try not to use plastic.
That'll be a way, yeah? That'll be your way of changing the world.
That would be my way of changing the world. Even over, like, letting everyone be vegan and vegetarian. I feel like plastic, let people eat what they want to eat. Like, it's not ideal. I wish they could cut down the way that they produce the meat and the way that they torture the animals. Deep, but it's true. But like, conspiracy. But like, plastic pollution is absolutely killing us off. I feel like we're just absolutely effing up ourselves. So yeah. Okay, awesome. Second question. To leave the podcast, I'm starting this thing where each artist recommends one song, and that is how the podcast ends. So we have the next 4 minutes is going to be the song, and that leads us out. What would your song be? Jessie J, Somebody's Lady. It's on her new album. You didn't hear it because it finished just that, the song before that finished as we arrived here, so you're still yet to hear this song. But it's a big, go and check out her album, guys. It's such a different vibe to anything else she's done before, but it's amazing. I challenge you to learn the song. I will pick up the guitar and learn how to play guitar again, and we will do a cover somewhere. Very beautiful around here. Aight. Yeah? Yeah. Brilliant. Marley, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Remember to leave a rating. Remember to leave a comment. Let us know exactly what you think. This is all very new to us, so you are very much on the journey of Made on the Road podcasts. Cute. Yeah, very cute. But I say Made on the Road podcast, that we're releasing these on the George Holliday channel on YouTube. I'm trying to do self-branding and the business Made on the Road. We produce everything. We make the videos, we make the audio, but we don't release it as Made on the Road. So be sure to go over and check out all the relevant links, which will be below, and we will look forward. You're on the bus a fair amount, Miles. I am. We look forward to having you again and seeing your faces, ears. I don't know how to end this podcast, guys. I'll see you later. Thank you very much for joining. Bye. This is me.